Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Man United Agenda. This is the weekly gossip column. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Man United Agenda. With me today, I've got the lovely OMONDI. How are you, OMONDI?
I'm fantastic, Maisie. It's lovely to be here. Thanks for inviting me. I like a little gossip. Just got to put the kettle on.
I've got my water here as well, so I can have a little bit of a drink if I wanted to. I might have put something a little bit more in. You don't know yet, though.
Well, we don't. No one knows. No one knows. Let's see how long we last.
Oh yes, sounds good with me. So I'm gonna go with the first topic here. What is on the description, and that is Diaz from Porto linked to Manchester United, Colombian international, winger, currently playing as a winger. What do you think of him on Monday coming to Manchester United?
I thought he was Liverpool's target for a long time now. He's been linked with Liverpool. Yeah. I've had a good look at him. I've been given really good reports about him for a long time now. He's a right-footed, left-sided midfield, left inside forward sort of guy, similar to Martial, similar to what Rashford plays, that sort of position. He likes to cut in onto his right, and he's got a really good shot as well. If you look at most of his highlights, he scores like long shots. He's played at the top level for Porto. He scored against big teams in the Champions League. He's not phased. And I think when you've got players like that with that sort of ability, playing in the Portuguese league, you've always got an advantage because for the English market, you can always have a nab at him, and they're likely to sort of give him up for like good money. So I never really, usually today you're just saying that to me now about him. But I really like him as a player. But the only thing is this. We got Martial. Martial is obviously leaving. So this is, if you talk about this position on the left, because he clearly cuts in from the left and, sort of does that Martial-Rashford thing. Martial might be leaving. Rashford remains, probably. And we've got Elanga there. And we've got Sancho. So that's three players that could possibly play in that same position.
And Elanga.
Elanga as well, yeah. So there's three players there. Elanga, Rashford, and Sancho that can probably play off the left. Unless you're going to go Sancho on the right with Greenwood to give for that balance. I do think we need more attacking options up front. I don't think it's essential, but I do like this guy, and I think it's worth getting in there because Liverpool, if you look at their business over the last few years, they're identifying really good players. So I think we should do the same, and sort of even if we sort of say, okay, let's have a look at him too. What's all the hype about? I advise everyone to watch him as well because he's definitely dangerous. So I don't know what you think, Maisie, but Diaz, the Colombian, sounds good to me.
Yeah, also sounds very good to me as well. The only question is, because like you say, he's a left winger, how much game time would he really have at Manchester United, knowing there's Rashford who will be playing ahead of him and Elanga right now, depending on who the manager is going to be in the summer, or if Rangnick decides to stay as a manager for one more year. How much game time is Elanga going to get? So where does Diaz fit? That's what my question is mostly. And if we are going to look for attacking options, I would personally try and look for another right-wing attacking option just because we're still pretty short on that, because the only natural right winger we have is Sancho, because Greenwood plays in that position, but he's still a central forward player who gets put on the right because he isn't able to get through in that central forward right now with Ronaldo and Cavani. But when you do look at Diaz's stats, Porto been there since 2019. In the league, he's had 77 appearances and 26 goals overall. He's made his debut for Colombia's first team in 2018, had 31 appearances and 7 goals so far. So his stats at the moment are not looking too bad whatsoever, and I'd say probably in the next 2-3 years he will be hitting his prime because he's 25 now.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I also agree with you what you're saying about the balance, bringing someone to play on the right. And obviously Sancho's right-footed, so he's an out-and-out right winger, but he can do both. Clearly better than Rashford, because Rashford doesn't seem so comfortable on the right side either. Elanga, I think he's a bit more flexible as well. He can do it. Even though Rashford, he scored from the right-hand side against Brentford for the third goal, didn't he? But here we are sort of disrespecting Rashford. Of course he could do it, but I think Rashford clearly is better from the left. So yeah, you're right, Maisie. I do believe that the priority should be inside forward, maybe a left-footed guy who can play off the left, play off the right, sorry, a bit like Greenwood's doing now. So maybe give license to Greenwood to go forward and take that striker position once Cavani leaves, maybe. So yeah, I do agree. But who's out there, I don't know. But I wouldn't miss out the opportunity of getting Diaz. I think he's going to be a star wherever he goes to, because he's going to leave soon. He can't remain at Porto, blowing up the way he is. I mean, rave reviews every week from him. So if Liverpool get him, I will be a bit gutted. Sometimes you're talking about competition for places. It's healthy, it's good, and if it means Elanga and Rashford and Greenwood and Sancho, and then you're adding another guy to that mix who maybe can just play off the left, but maybe he can play off the right. We can mix it up. I mean, all these guys, if you remember a few years ago, we had Greenwood, Martial and Rashford, all players in front three, and they used to interchange and play wherever. So I think if he's been identified, maybe it's about a new manager has identified him. We don't know. Or maybe it's Ranrick sort of saying that. But either way, he's one of the top prospects, and he's got the sort of caliber going forward that Man United need to sort of go after, you know?
And I think as well, knowing at the age he is, if he is wanting to try a new challenge in a different league, this is the right time, because if he decided in the next 5 years, I want to come to the Premier League at the age of 30, I'm not saying he couldn't do it, but there's not always a player who's a 30-year-old can make it in the Premier League compared to a 25-year-old. He's got better chances now being in the Premier League, doing amazing in the Premier League, working well with a good manager in the Premier League as well. But you'll need to look at positives for Liverpool. They haven't made too many signings in the past couple of years, so we could always take that as an advantage for us.
Yeah, and as you're saying, I mean, you're talking about Portuguese players. Like you said, by the time they're 23, if they're any good, they usually leave. But he's obviously came from Colombia, and now he's blowing up. But there's one guy you mentioned, you say don't wait until they get to the 30, because they're probably not good enough, or they might struggle to work in the Premiership. But we look at Telles, our left back. He's 28. We bought him at 27, 28, and he was at Porto and still doing okay. So no one really snapped him up prior to that. And I do think I want to give him a bow and salute. If you're watching Telles, you're doing really well, and I really rate you. You're giving us a lot of balance there, a lot of competition for that left back slot. So Telles has proven he can do it at that age, coming from Portuguese league.
Couldn't say it better myself. Telles is an absolute outstanding left back. I really love him. I'm so happy for him that he has actually got a place in Manchester United compared to last season. Didn't see too much of him, but he's really shown that he is capable of being that left back. And having Telles there, who's that former player at Porto, it allows him to create them little bit of bonds there, and perhaps maybe because Telles has a bond there with Fred, he has a bond there with Ronaldo, Bruno as well. It kind of probably helps Diaz in a way to fit into Manchester United too.
I see where you're going with that. Very clever, Maisie. Yes, you're totally spot on. That would totally work. I really agree with you there. That sort of base where you can say, what's the attraction to coming Man United? And you just say, get these Portuguese guys on the phone, you know? Say, hello, come on, man, come on. I'll take you to the local restaurant, you know? That's Spanish, well, that's a different language. But you know what I mean. It really helps in sort of getting players to get interested into the club, you know?
Mm-hmm. People have been saying Agent Rashford, Agent Bruno. Is it time for Agent Telles?
yeah, exactly. That's right. Put some work in.
Before we go through to the next topic, I'm going to go through a couple of the comments there in the chat. Hello to Niall. Yes, Maisie, big up. So glad this show is back on. Really missed it. Hope you're well. Thank you so much, Niall. Hope you're well too. I've missed this show so much as well. Everyone who's new to the channel, please give us that subscribe. Hello there to Rush. Thank you for tuning in. Niall, OMONDI was great to meet you for real last night on another channel. Must apologise at the fact I was eating crisp on the stream. Never again.
You know what? You know, someone was talking, and now we were on another channel discussing football as we do. And now I've got his crisps out, and he cleared the Russell. He opened them up, and and munching away. And I had to say to him, "Boy, put that away now." You know, we can't even hear the guy talk. Bloody hell. Big up, Niall. Big up. Lovely to meet you.
Hello to Rebel. Thank you for tuning in. Big up, panel. Looking forward to seeing this. I'll be taking notes of your comments for use in the Studs Up debate on Monday.
I love Rebel. I absolutely love Rebel. He's we bounce off each other. Top bloke. Love him.
Hello to Solo. Thank you for tuning in. Niall, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button on the Man United agenda. Only 3 likes away from 20, and also subscribe to Devils United, who's on the road to 500 if you haven't already. That is my channel, so thank you very, very much there, Niall, for shouting that out. Good evening to Matthew. Thank you for tuning in. Russia said Martial all but gone. That'll be another topic we will be talking about very, very soon as well. Hello to Mr. B. Thank you for tuning in. And I'm still waiting for that song, by the way.
He's just tuning up the band.
Exactly. What do you want to do on Monday? Do you want to do the drums, the guitar?
I'll just do backing singing, you know? I want Mr. B to lead. We're all waiting for this.
I'll be back.
We can be Roman Keating.
Niall, to be fair, I forgot to mute myself, mate. It's all good. It was actually funny. Rich had to mute me to let me finish them.
Big up, Niall.
And good evening to Pat. Big up to you too. Thank you for tuning in. So we'll go on to the next topic, which I think is going to be a very important, and it decides the future of Manchester United. So today, it has come out that Manchester United is looking for permanent managers now. 4 managers have been shortlisted, which is very, very interesting because we will decide on now who is going to be the permanent manager of Manchester United. No more wait, because it's just been all in suspense. Probably people who are linked to Manchester United wanting to come Manchester United also in suspense. Just like people who are leaving in suspense, am I going to still keep my place if I stay? Or am I better off leaving? So it's not just the fate of the fans, it's the fate of the players, the fate of the board, it's fate of everything for Manchester United, knowing who the managers are going to be. And there's been 4 that has been shortlisted. Poch has been shortlisted. Ten Hag has been shortlisted. Enrique, the Spain manager, has been shortlisted, and Seville's manager has been shortlisted as well. Any of them you like the sound of there on Monday?
So the Seville manager, I'm not going to pronounce his name. He used to manage Real Madrid prior to this. It's just short term. But I think the reason he's been thrown in is because Seville is second in the league at the moment. They're only just behind Real Madrid. And I think, oh, wow, Seville, Barcelona and Real Madrid usually dominate the league. Seville are doing well. They must have a good manager. He must be thrown into the mix. He must be the new source of the month, you know, the new flavour of the month. But really, I don't think he's suitable for Manchester United. He's just come onto the market or coming to people on people's lips based on him being second in the league. I think that's all it is. And that's what happens usually. If someone like Jose Mourinho won the UEFA Cup, won the Champions League, and suddenly he was the talk of the town. It's like, oh, he's the hottest manager in Europe. I don't agree with that. I don't see enough yet from him. Even though he's doing well with Seville, I think there's reasons why Barca aren't up there. Atletico Madrid dropped off. He's just taking the opportunity. A bit like us last season when other teams weren't doing so well, we come up second, you know. But anyway, so him, I would scrap that. Luis Enrique, he won't be ready until like after the World Cup, which is a year to the day almost, you know, or just December, I think finishes next year. So he won't be available in the summer. I don't. He's good manager, clearly. Possession-based manager. It would change the whole system up. I think I was talking to Rebel about this earlier, and Rebel was saying it could be similar to what Van Gaal brought us, or it could be similar to what Pep plays, you know. But either way, he's managed Barcelona. He's managed great players. He's been successful at Barcelona as well. I think he was the one who had Suarez, Neymar, and Messi in the side, you know. I think won the Champions League, if I recall rightly. I can't be 100%, but that's not on my radar. The guy is on my radar. Forget Poch. We all know about Poch, what he done with Tottenham. I don't think Poch has got an identity. I don't think Poch is that great. And well, he's good with young players. Oh, he's, you know, he hasn't won anything. that doesn't mean anything normally, but I don't. It doesn't inspire me. The guy who inspires me is the Ajax coach, and I'm glad to see him in with the running. And I've heard that he could be quite interested. It's, he's not giving much away. He's got a project with Ajax. Hopefully by the end of the season, they win the league, they win the double. He becomes a legend there, and then he can say goodbye and come to Man United. I think he ticks all our boxes. I think he would be a great fit after Ralph because it's a similar kind of play. It can be adapted. Not, I think he's a good coach. I think the way they play on the eye will be very attractive as well. So I'm with the Ajax coach. What about you? What out of the four?
For me, I'd have to go with the same. Ten Hag. Absolutely love Ten Hag. And he has shown his identity at Ajax for me. A couple of big things really stand out for me with Ten Hag. For me, with Ten Hag, I really love his kind of formation, the way he uses his youth players. He's brought the best out of these youth players, and he's made these players who have potential to be world class. Like, you look at Frankie de Jong, he is a Ten Hag project. And you look at players who are already at Ajax, and a player who I absolutely love at Ajax, Timber. He's a centre-back there. He's still only very young, still only the age of 20, and he, for me, has also got potential to be such an amazing centre-back. And you look at that and you think, this is the Ten Hag project. And imagine him working alongside your youth players, and imagine having that identity at Ajax, who have made such good youth players into amazing players at Ajax, coming to Manchester United, getting picked out as a Manchester United first team. You'd be like, wow. And you think as well, the youth, Manchester United youth success. And that is what Manchester United is about, using our youth players. It's been in our identity all the way since the Busby Babes. And I think he will be one who has that identity of Manchester United. And another thing, what really stands out for me in terms of Ten Hag, despite him losing loads of players back when the season after they lost against Tottenham in the semi-finals of the Champions League, they lost around 5-6 of their starting 11 players, and he still managed to rebuild Ajax. And I think the Ajax team now, you've got to look at it and think, is this a much stronger Ajax team than what it was back several years ago, despite them being second in the Dutch league? They're still not conceding a goal yet in the Champions League. Only conceded 4 goals in their own league. He's won countless trophies at Ajax already, so you already know that he is a winner at Ajax, and you can see that he's got a good relationship with the board. And I don't think he is a yes man, unlike so many different managers too. If he isn't liking it, I think he will be actually say that he isn't happy with the board, or he's not happy with decisions at Manchester United. And I think he wouldn't be afraid to drop a player for that.
Wow, you know what? The Ralph effect's done its work, because you've definitely done your homework there. Big up with that. There's 2 players I want to name from this guy called Ryan Graveshaw or something. Youngster, watch him for years, from he's 16 years old. Young midfielder, centre midfielder. He's talented. He's a bit like Bellingham, compared to Bellingham. Baller, a complete baller. He's about 18, 19 years old now, and he's a first team starter for them. And they've got a guy called Anthony, he's a Brazilian, and he's left-footed, so he can play on the right side, right inside forward. He's very, very skillful, very talented, and maybe we should be looking at him as well. But yeah, what you just said, I just have to second that. Big up with the homework.
I was also looking at the Seville managers' history as a manager. A lot of people always do tend to look at managers, especially when they come to Manchester United, where they had success in the past. Have they won leagues? Have they won Champions Leagues? Have they won any cups at all? I was looking at his profile as a manager in terms of trophies, but then you think at Manchester United, you kind of want a manager who knows how to win trophies and isn't afraid of getting into a final and making them changes. And I look at his profile, and he's only ever won 3 trophies as a manager. 2 of them he's managed the under-19s. Only one of them he's won as a first team manager. And I do look at something like that, and I think, is that something what Manchester United should look at as a bit of a what we should steer away from? Should we look at a manager who's got that little bit of winning mentality, that little bit of more desire on winning trophies?
Clearly not. I don't agree. There's got to be certain clubs. You've got to have an expectation. If you're playing for a second division club, for example, what's your expectation? You're going to win trophies. You're going to win the league. You're going to come up and do Brian Clough win a league and Champions League. It's very rare. These things don't happen. It's a bit like Ralph. The question we always get asked. I don't know if Kunle's in the house, but Kunle's always saying, "Well, what has he won? What has he won?" But it's obviously there's other factors which tell you how good a manager is, and it's not always about winning things. As we're seeing with Ralph, it's about developing players. It's about management of players and getting the best out of players. And if you can see that to some sort of level, like you're saying about the Ajax coach, you can definitely see that rebuilding, transformation, getting rid of all your best players, rebuilding that, the structure, the management. It's all structure management. Everything comes under the whole thing. And showing that you're a good manager in that respect, beating Dortmund 4-0, in the Champions League, for example. Like I said, the stats about not conceding goals. These are factors there. You might say, oh, the Dutch league ain't that good. How can you gauge anything by the Dutch league? But there are ways you can gauge. If you really analyse things, which you've certainly been doing, you can gauge who's good manager and who's not. And I'm not saying the Seville manager is not any good. I'm just saying that we can't always judge people on what they've won, because sometimes in a league like La Liga, when there's only two teams in it, really, maybe Atletico Madrid as well sometimes, as even because not this season they're not. How do you gauge what success is? Success should be coming second for Seville. That's overachieving, possibly.
And when I was looking at it, the trophy he did win, none of them was under Real Madrid. It was actually under Seville. He won the Europa League, so he got them into the Champions League doing that.
There's a spell on them that they always win. If they enter it, they win it.
We all know if a Spanish team gets into a final, we've got no chance here.
Let's not go there.
Yeah, I'd rather not. We'll go through a couple more of the comments before we go on to the next topic here. Good evening to Kai. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you're well too. Niall, for me, it has to be Ten Hag to get the job. As far as I'm aware, he is the favourite from the reports. Do you think he will take Van der Sar?
Van der Sar's the CEO. Is he the managing sport, the top guy?
Yeah, he's like a director there, isn't he, at Ajax?
Yeah, I think that'd be a nice move.
It would be nice. And it'd just be the matter of if the board would want to make that further change, knowing that they've got Ralph in there as well. Would they want to move somebody else out to bring somebody else in? And that would be a question for me, is if they would want to do that.
I think Ralph can do many roles. He's proved over the past, so he could adapt and do something different. But we've got to keep Ralph. I think Ralph is a mainstay for the next few years. He's definitely got a contract anyway.
I completely agree. Bath time. Hello to you, Bath time. Thank you for tuning in.
To Bath time. Maximum respect, Bath time.
Have you got Claudio on the list? We could have put Claudio on the list, but it's only been a couple of hours. We've got to give him that respect.
Claudio? I don't know who Claudio is.
Ranieri.
Claudio Ranieri. I'd rather have Bath time on the list.
A Monday for manager. Bath time. Poch is my first choice. I don't like Ten Hag's build-up shape. Kai, I'm stuck at work, so we'll have to catch up when I can. Thank you for tuning in. No, definitely does mean a lot. Hello to Edda. Hello to you. Thank you for tuning into the channel.
Thank you.
And as well, we got Edda, MAISEY, A++++ for the homework. Thank you for that.
He's not wrong. That's brilliant.
Hello to my dad as well. Thank you.
Hi, Robert. How you doing?
And Daniel. Hello to Daniel. Free Phil Johnson.
Oh, wait. Let me just tell you something. Daniel, all right, he plays for my football team, Sunday football team. And this guy will run all day. I'm super talented. He does it all. He's a real team player. Big up, Daniel. Thanks for tuning in. And what's he saying? Free Phil Jones and Jesse on Fodem. Big up, Daniel. See you next week.
Eddie has said, exactly, football is definitely also about developing football philosophers / players that will likely lead to trophies eventually. Couldn't say it better myself, to be honest. And I think that's what people do look at when they do look at a CV of a manager. Always look at the trophies. They don't you look at Ralph Rangnick, a lot of people didn't want him because he didn't win many trophies, but he's considered as the godfather of football. He's who the likes of Klopp, the likes of Tuchel look up to, and you look at what their CV is like as their own managers as well. Bath time. On an unrelated note, Seville is the best city to visit in Europe. Might have to put that on the list.
The hottest in Spain, and with the best oranges.
Rebel, what's the midfielders and defenders you want to sign in January or Monday?
Well, I'm not going to speak about this because we've got a show afterwards where we're going to make an argument about, well, should I reveal it? Okay, let me just break it down quickly. Next show, Studs Up, we're discussing, someone's making a claim to say we don't need to sign anybody during this January transfer window. And it's going to be me. I'm really saying that. We don't need to sign anyone, and I'm going to make my case for it. But anyway, they need to counter that. So tune in at 8 o'clock, guys.
That definitely sounds like a great debate. So make sure you stay on the channel at by 8 o'clock and then check on Monday out with his brilliant debates. And my dad has asked, what's your football team called on Monday?
We're Woodlands United. We're in the Harrow Sunday Challenge League, and we've lost 4 games in a row. Help us! We need some signings. The January transfer window. If you're getting good and you're under the age of, say, 45, come down and join us.
Bath Time said, is it Joe Glazer that's making the argument? So we'll go on to the final topic of the show tonight, and it's outgoings for Manchester United. 2 outgoings. One, Anthony Martial, which everyone was aware of, that he wants to leave Manchester United, but our club is interested on him on a loan deal, which is Juventus. Donny, he's another player who could potentially leave Manchester United in this window to another Premier League club, which will be Wolves. What do you think about these 2 news on Monday?
Okay, so the Donny one I haven't heard of. I hope Donny does stay, because I think it would just, at the moment, it's all right. Yeah, everyone's raving about our couple of results and the performance of Fred and McTominay. But beyond that, we've only got Donny and Matic. So it would be unwise, unless we're bringing someone in to sell or loan Donny. I don't think that's necessary. We've got FA Cup. We've got the Champions League. We need to have keep that squad compact. And in that area, especially midfield, like I say, we need to sort of make sure we've got replacements for the guys if they get injured, because anything can happen. And obviously, we know Pogba's coming back soon. So Pogba is more than likely to play in the midfield 2 or 3, as we put it. So that's another number there. I'd rather keep the numbers there. There's no reason to sell Donny. As you know, well, everyone who knows I love Donny van der Beek. I think he's a great ball player. I think he's essential for our club, and we just got to learn to use him. And that means teammates as well, and management understand how good this guy is. As regards to Anthony Martial, I've got a report here from Romano, and when Romano speaks, it's usually the truth. He just confirms that Seville are in talks again. There's been talks ongoing between Seville and Manchester United. Seville are discussing the salary, because remember previously there was an issue about the salary, because he's on about 250, ridiculous amount of money.
250 a week, 250k a week, the same amount as Edinson Cavani, actually.
Wow. But so that's the sort of sticky point for Martial moving on loan. Obviously he wants to go, and we know that Ralph said anyone who does want to be here, he will try to assist them to go. So you said Juve as well. They've got financial problems, but it looks like Seville, according to Romano, looks like Seville coming in. And also there's been Romano saying there's no way that Spurs or Newcastle will be able to get Martial, maybe because they're Premiership teams and that kind of thing. But they were saying here, Ralph wants the club want to balance the wage structure. As you said, 250 for someone who's not really playing that much in Martial. We need to sort of get some balance there. And I think that's what Ralph's doing as well. Ralph doesn't just manage players. He doesn't just mentally try and inspire them. He manages the whole club. That's why he's had these different roles in the club. And he's like a Fergie used to do the same thing. I like this, what he's bringing to the club. So Martial, he's been a good servant. I know opinions divided. He got booed when he came on the other day, which I didn't like. I didn't like that at all. I think that makes it a bit unfair. I think the crowd sometimes just go OTT on players. And then he came on and helped assist with that last minute goal. And then suddenly he's the hero again. But he is a good player. But I just think it's time for him to leave. I just want to know what you think, Maisie. I mean, what do you think about those two, Donny and Martial?
For me, in terms of Donny, I always do look at Donny from the beginning, and I do question why he's had enough game time, and it's been under 3 different managers now. I actually genuinely believe, though, Donny was bought as more of a panic buy. A lot of people probably do disagree with me on that, but the reason why I do think that is because back when we did sign Donny, there was all rumours that Pogba was almost signing for Real Madrid. So I think Manchester United went, oh, what's going on here? Couldn't get Jack Grealish because they thought, I'm not paying 90 million for Jack Grealish. And then they looked at Donny thinking, all right, he's got good stats, and he is 50 million pound cheaper than Grealish. Let's go for him. And I think that's what it would have been. I'm knowing that Pogba's came back in and he said, "No, I'm staying at the club now. Whatever I'm gonna do," and then it's just left no room for Donny. But then you think, when you look at the players on the pitch, there is some players who do that Donny deserves to be on that pitch a lot more than them, and I do question though, because people think Donny should play every single minute, every single game. But is that wise to do that with such a little game time he's had at Manchester United? Because if he is going from playing 3 minutes a week to going to play 90 minutes for 10 weeks, how is that going to affect him physically? Is he going to pick up the odd knock here and there and everywhere because he hasn't played that much game time? That's what I do question. I do really like Donny though, and I think he definitely does deserve that a little bit more. But if Manchester United aren't willing to give him any kind of game time, at least put him on loan till the end of the season, till we do know what's going on with the Paul Pogba situation, because we can't sell Donny, then let Pogba go on a free. Then we'd be back at square one thinking, right, we've got no central midfielders now.
It's true. What about Martial?
Martial, to be honest with Martial, people will argue that he's been good. Some people argue he's been bad. But for me, he's been here for 7 years at the club. And for me, he's only had 1.5 good seasons at Manchester United. The reason why I say half is because it was that half, after the coronavirus. It was after the coronavirus. That one. Yeah. And we had to come back after that suspended coronavirus. And it was brilliant. And I think what happened, maybe people say, is a lack of confidence. He was playing in the wrong position. But the times where we have seen the best of Anthony Martial in his best seasons, he played in that striker role. So I do question of what has gone on with Anthony Martial in terms of that. But he's come out, his agent has come out, he doesn't want to be at the club. Yeah. And when you do look at that, we need to let him go. It doesn't matter if Seville won't pay all his wages. It doesn't matter if Juventus won't pay all his wages. If he wants to leave, just let him leave. But I do also look at it under the same breath as, if a player seriously does want to leave the club, you would take a pay cut to leave the club because you don't want to be there. And it should be the case of, I want to play football more than I want to keep my 250k a week.
Good shout. Good shout. I think when you're earning over 100 grand, I don't think it means that much. You've probably got loads of investments now, and think it's all about, he needs to resurrect his career, Martial, because he's sort of started as a starlet, come to a big club, big fame, and he's been too comfortable, I think, on the wages. And now he needs to sort of reboot himself, show the world the sort of player he is. And I don't mind that if he goes somewhere else and performs, because we all know he's talented. But it's just, I think sometimes you're stuck in the mud and you can't get out of it. No matter what you do, you can't motivate yourself. He definitely needs to change.
And I think what doesn't help that the fact that when he did come to the club, he had such high expectations. Like if he won the Ballon d'Or, we have to give so much money to his former club. And I think we just had such high expectations in that case of Anthony Martial to be the best young player in the Premier League. And I think when you've got such big expectations like that, and that's the same with our academy graduates, because we've seen what we've seen in the past with the class of 92, the Busby Bays, we automatically have such high expectations of our academy players to do the 90 class of 92 all over again, all the Busby Babes all over again. I think that's what we expect as a football club and as a fan. And I think that puts a whole lot more pressure onto the player. And then once we see that they're not doing that well, it just goes extremely sour very quickly.
Two things. Ravel Morrison and Paul Pogba. They were both, to me, some of the best talents coming through the youth when we used to watch under 18s. And they both let go by a top manager, that's in Fergie. Lee Sharp, Ryan Giggs, raving in the 90s, going out, thinking they're big time Charlies, as Fergie would say. They both got strung up by Fergie. One listened, the other didn't, and we see how their careers went. One of them was probably rated as one of the best wingers of all time. So that just shows you good management can manage these players, and I've got faith in Ralph that he managed the whole club, especially the youths, and he will develop them. The youths must be looking now and saying, "Wow, Elanga, man, what's it like playing for the first team?" Elanga will be saying, "You get the opportunity, just keep trying hard. The manager will give you that chance, So everyone's going to be on their toes. I see Mengi, Hannibal play. Yeah. Well, he was in the squad they had a big result against Nigeria, for Tunisia. He could be playing, he's on the bench, but he could be playing. So opportunity knocks. Take the opportunity now, because there's a window now under Ralph and maybe Ten Hag in the future where these young players can start getting great opportunities. So seize the day and have that motivation. Don't be distracted by other stupid things that, like what we say with Martial. That's the falling from grace when he was a young, talented player who should have made it. You still need that motivation. You still need a manager to give you the boot up the arse. At the backside, and get these players going. That's the motivation they need. So come on, all you youngsters in the Man United under 18s and in the academies, Ghana, all these guys on loan, the right back. Come on, there's an opportunity there. Let's seize it.
It's good that you did mention Hannibal, because I actually read reports that Ralph is actually looking at putting Hannibal as a first-team player by the end of the season. So he clearly shows such brilliant things in Hannibal, what we've always seen anyway in the youth academy, what we've seen when he played that 10 minutes against Wolves. We have seen it and we just want to see more of it. And I think he will be a different kind of midfielder, a different type of number 10 for Manchester United.
I just want to say, I know we're waffling now about Hannibal, but he deserves it. He's very talented. And I think if you give him that confidence now to say, yeah, there's a window there for you, you've got to perform, I think he would take it. And I think he gives you something. He would get the crowd going. He's such a talented footballer. And when we're looking at Fred and McTominay, what they don't do with the ball, this is what Hannibal does do with the ball. Give him the ball and he's comfortable.
100%. Couldn't say it better myself. I'm going to go through the last bit of the comments before we wrap up of the show. Niall, Maisie, question for you. Are you confident that we'll get top 4 and a midfielder to be signed in the window or go to the last day? Very good question there from Niall. For me, I can only be optimistic. I've been one who have said, no, we're not going to get into top 4. Look, we should have got these points, should have got these points, should have got these points. We're in the top 4 now. We still got this chance. As much as the top 4 is to fight for, we still got Arsenal, still got Spurs about, who are lingering around like a little bit of a bad smell. But they're still lingering around. But if we win our game in hand, we continue to win, and then we see hopefully Chelsea, Tottenham, when they've got the games in hand, they drop the points. You see, of course, Arsenal's got game in hand as well, and if they drop the points, it's got all to play for Manchester United. And in terms of a midfielder, I'm a bit 50-50, because you see all these reports, but they're only still reports at the end of the day, and you get them a little bit of excitement. But I also read reports as well that we don't want to sign anyone, and it just gets me dampened down. But I'm not 100% sure about that. What about you, OMONDI, with the top 4?
Top four. If we get behind the club, get behind the manager, yes, it's there for us. I think we're going to do it. And regarding the midfielder, the manager, it comes down to manager again. We don't need a midfielder. We don't need any players. We've got a manager who will use this squad, utilize this squad to get us in the top 4. Just a quick thing here. Last season, we came second in the league. I know there's ups and downs with COVID and certain teams lost Van Dijk or whatever they keep saying. They keep repeating that. It just makes me sick. Come on, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so we came second in the league with a squad, and we added to the squad with Varane, Ronaldo, and Sancho. So to see us in the mud down at 8th place, that's not a good thing, is it? It's down to the manager. So now we've got a manager with this squad that came second and these 3 additional players. You're going to start to see, once they tweak, and once you follow Bath Time with Vaughan's tactical analysis, where he really breaks down how we're playing these days, the subtle things that we're doing, then we start to see what a good effect a manager that has on the club. And I think we're starting to see that now.
Rebel said, wasn't getting caught by that loaded question on Monday, was hoping you would slip. Bath time, I'd get rid of Rashford and Greenwood before Martial. Niall, two clubs want Lingard, West Ham and Newcastle. Martial for me, it's for teams you just touched on, MAISEY. Yep, I've heard all the Lingard rumours as well. I'm definitely going to catch a Monday show at some point for the Simon's debate. I can't see how Mick Fred shouldn't be challenged. My dad has said Martial, Jesse, Donny, Baylor are all going, he thinks. Niall, Donny, Martial, Lingard, Henderson, Bayer, I think will leave. It's a tough one in my opinion. Bath time. Oh no, Martial is going to be seduced by the city of Seville. It's irresistible. Bruv, don't ever compare Ragnick to Sir Alex Ferguson. My dad said, Ralph like Fergie. If you don't want to play at Man United, then sell or loan them. Hello to Rich. Thank you for tuning in. 10 people in the chat. Come on, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button.
Come on, everyone. Stop what you're doing and press the like button. Right. Do it now. Just stop. Do it right now. Press the like and big up Rich Sports.
SHAH, good evening to you, SHAH. Thank you for tuning in. Niall, only 6 more likes away from 30. Hit the like, subscribe, share the stream, get the watch hours up. It can be done. Thank you for that, Niall. SHAH said Bebe got let go too. Bath time. Where does this faith in Ragnick come from? It ain't in his CV.
If you tune in at 8 o'clock, I'll justify why.
Niall, at the end of the day, Martial for me wants to leave because he ain't getting the game time required, and at the end of the day, he should be either loaned or sold at the end of the day.
Today or the 31st of Jan?
Anytime. SHAH said Garda Chong, Hannibal, Menga, Palestra, Hernandez, Shortire, Ahmad, Melo, Galbraith, Fish, Tuanzebe could be interesting. Of the next academy graduates. We've got a lot of academy graduates in there. And just as my dad has touched on, Charlie McNeil, another youngster.
Yes, Papa. Papa Hall, I respect that, man. I like Charlie McNeil. He's a good little player. Great minds.
Niall said, loan update about Dylan Levitt, scored for Dundee United in the Scottish Cup. SHAH, Charlie McNeil, Joe Hugill, two both class finishers. Niall, Charlie Savage is one to watch. I think he'll be a great player for United in the years to come, in my opinion. Solo, we don't need any signing in January, and we can get top 4. Love the positivity there, Solo. Love it. And just as Niall said, hit the like button. It's free. I just want to say to OMONDI, thank you so much for coming onto the show. It definitely means so much. Thank you very much.
Can we do it again? Because I said to you, I need a dance partner. I mean, it's like salsa. And you've led me. I know my steps now. I know my steps brilliantly. And I hope everyone enjoyed the show. MAISEY, big up. Enough respect to you. I love your passion for Man United. And you talk so elegantly and articulately about the club. And that's why we love you here at Man United Agenda. Big up.
I love you all at Man United Agenda. I love you, OMONDI. Love coming on the show. Everyone, thank you all for watching the show tonight. You can catch me here on Mondays. And next up is going to be the Studs Up show at 8 o'clock with OMONDI's debate. So definitely go and stay tuned for that. It's going to be an absolute cracker to watch. OMONDI's got his boxing gloves on already. So it's definitely not to be missed. But until then, I will see you all very, very soon. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.